Hi guys.
What's up everybody? I'm doing a Feature Friday video and we are showing off our upgraded speaker kit. Making a mess over here already. But pretty much, if you know these spare bodies, they're old speakers, they're junk, probably blown out, and we have a solution for that. So we got some Kicker 3.5-inch speakers right here that go in the dash. And with these aftermarket speakers, a lot of times these tweeters stick up past the speaker and you can't get your dash pad to fit flush. What we did is we have these stainless steel mounting plates right here that'll bolt directly up to the speaker. And then we have these spacers right here that'll pretty much space the speaker down into the dash a little bit more so you can get clearance with those tweeters and speakers. This is going to be your driver's side mount and this is going to be your passenger mount right here. Let's go ahead and open up the Kicker box. And again, these should work with any 3.5-inch speakers. These just happen to be Kickers, so that's what we'll be using in this video. And this is a pretty simple installation, like it's pretty straightforward, but I know having a video to watch along makes things a lot easier. All right, well, we're gonna start with the passenger side. If you notice in the kit, there's gonna be 2 longer ones and 4 shorter bolts. And these are pretty much gonna be the mounting hardware to mount to the dash. So you just set that aside for right now. And you'll notice there's some pre-threaded nut zerts on here already. So that's where the speaker is gonna mount. So what I like to do is go ahead and get these spacers mounted on here. Just thread that on there on both sides. Take your Allen and go ahead and snug this down. And the nice thing about these things being stainless is you don't have to paint them and you don't have to powder coat them. You still can if you want to, but you don't absolutely have to. And then you can take your little spacers, and these are threaded on both sides. And then you can take your speaker and place it on there like so. So get your washer, and your bolt. Same thing on the other side. And these speakers do have a little bit of adjustment in them, but what I like to do is just start in the center. And just like that, this one's ready to throw in. Now these holes right here are gonna mount to your factory location on your dash with the hardware right here. So we'll put this aside for now until we go out in the shop, and I'll show you that later. So now the driver's side is going to be slightly different. Instead of spacing the speaker, we're actually spacing it off the dash itself. So the speaker is going to mount to where the nut zerts are, and you can see it's just going to mount just like that. And all these bolts are the same size. So you can just take your washer, So this is where it's a little bit different than the passenger side. So you can just take your bolt and your spacer, thread that together right there. Flip it over, snug it down. So that's pretty much it. You can see the speakers are mounted to the brackets and ready to install in the truck. So the only modification you have to do is on the passenger side, and we will provide a template. Pretty much you mount it up to your factory mounting location, and you'll lay the template on there, trace around it, and it'll tell you where to cut. But other than that, that's the only modifications you have to do to upgrade your dash speakers. So I know this is going to be a little bit easier for me than it is for you since I don't have a windshield in here, but it still is a very simple installation. It's pretty much just remove your factory crusty speaker, throw that in the trash. This one's going to go from the bottom like so. And as easy as that, the driver's side is installed. So like I said, the only modification required is trimming this dash right around here on the front side, closest to the windshield. And I'll show you guys that here in a second. So since we are running a slightly larger speaker, the opening right here from factory is not going to be big enough. Of course, you got Decibel Derek, always makes all the noise in all the videos. Anywho, so as you can see, the speaker doesn't quite fit all the way. So I'm gonna run and show you guys the other truck that's already been cut out. Now we will send a template. The template will bolt up here, and then you just trace along the template and that'll tell you where to trim to. So this truck is already cut out for the speaker. Mickey just finished up the headers and he's working on the exhaust right now. So stay tuned for those videos and be sure to check out the header build because he did a really good job on these. Anywho, back to the speakers. So, like I said, this has been cut out right here. So once you get the dash cut to the template, it should just slide right on in like so. And then you'll just take the rest of your hardware, slide them in there and there. Now you have to put a little bit of pressure in here while you get the nut started on the bottom. And after you get that nut started, just go ahead and snug it all down. So after you get that thing snugged down, you can see it's nice and flush with the top of the dash, so you shouldn't have any issues with your tweeters hitting. In addition to our dash mounts, we also have the cab speakers. So this gives you a 6x9 right here in the cab behind your seats, and this does clear our harness bars. So if you do have one of our harness bars, it will clear this. So if you're ready to upgrade your sound system in your square body, you know where to find us.